Thanks, Kofi. Tomorrow's a pretty big day for you guys and the program, just being back in the for the title game and Selection Sunday. Just what's it mean to have the program at this level right now?
It means a lot. When I came on my visit, I saw this program, as a losing program. They lost to a really bad team when I came here. I keep saying that every time because like that motivated me to come here, and try to be a part of this change and just being a part of it right now and experiencing it, and this going through the fight every day in practice, going through the fight each and every game with those guys, and accomplishing this good achievement. It's one more. We got more games to come. It's not finished yet, but just being here right now feels so great.
Okay, we'll go next to Marley and then Derek Piper.
Kofi, it seems like your team culture is really being reflected on the court right now. I mean, how would you describe the team culture right now as you guys just continue to rewrite history?
Yeah, man, that's the culture that coach instills in us, man. It's the everyday guys. We come out every day and we work hard in practice. We challenge each other in practice, and when we come out to the games, it's easier, because we go so hard in practice and we push each other. So when we come outside and we got to play somebody else with those guys, we come together as a team. It becomes really way easier for us, to come out there and just do what we do, whether it's being connected on the defensive end, executing on the offensive end. So it's just about, sticking together with those tough guys out there and just beat everyday guys, doing what we do every day.
You guys already know your opponent for tomorrow's final. I mean, I'm assuming you knew before you took the court today. I mean, what was it like to know your opponent kind of that far in advance?
I mean, we wasn't focused on that. We was focused on this game right now. So we didn't really watch it. We just heard, from word of mouth, So we weren't really focused on that right before the game. We were just worried about coming out here and doing what we have to do now so we could advance for tomorrow. So wasn't really thinking anything of it.
All right, thanks.
Okay, Derek Piper, you're up, and then Scott Ritchie.
Hey, Kofi, I know you've looked back to that first matchup with Luka last year before. You talked about it being a learning experience, but to progress up to this point where you were dominant against the Big Ten Player of the Year, how do you see that, just the way you've come along and progressed up to this point?
It's all about being a sponge, man. Great bigs in the Big Ten each year, both years I play here. Last year, it's just about being a sponge, taking as much information and as much knowledge as I can from those guys playing against them, That experience taught me a lot, just to be able to be the player I am right now. So it was just about being a learner, listening, watching, being observant. And, that got me here right now. So I'm really appreciative.
If that's the last time you guys go up against each other, what are you going to remember about the battles that you two had?
So it was always hectic, man. He's a great player. He will be a great player in the future. And I respect the hell out of him. And, it's just about, coming out there and competing, throwing punches, getting punched. And that's what it's about. Just being aggressive and just doing what you got to do for your team.
Thanks, Kofi.
Okay, Scott Ritchie, you're up. Gavin.
Hey, Kofi, Luka got 21 points, but he had to take 21 shots to get it. What did you maybe feel like you did well defensively against him to at least make it tough?
Yeah, the first games I played against him, kind of gave him angles, reached around him, gave him angle baskets. So Coach Chan, he had earlier in the season, like, if you forcing him to score through you and he scores it, well, good job, you pat him and you run to the offensive end. That's what I did today, I just walled up, forced him to score through me. He got some angle shots today, but, for the most part, I think I did a really good job of just making him score through me, always putting my body on him.
Coach said last night that there wasn't, a ton of celebration after that win. You're just sort of on to the next. What was today like?
Yeah, same thing, that Mamba, the Kobe mentality, job's not finished. We have a long way to go to accomplish what we need to accomplish. So it's about keeping a level head, knowing that we should be here right now and accepting that we should be here. So we shouldn't really get too high-headed, just be level-headed and go out there and do what we have to do.
Okay, Gavin, you're up. Jeremy Warner on deck.
Kofi, you guys had 52 points in the paint, and it seemed like Iowa was doing a lot to try and keep you from getting the ball, but you guys were able to keep getting it inside anyway. What does that say about the quality of moving the ball around for you guys today?
Yeah, the quality of moving the ball around is really important. We emphasize that, elevating each other. Giving up a good shot for a great shot. And it's just, I got winners on my team, man. You know, when they see something working for them, they keep going to it. They, you know, I give props to guys like Ayo and Trenton, the veterans, you know, just knowing how to win and knowing what it feels like, you know. So when they see something working for them, like me getting the ball in the post and scoring, they keep going to it and they give an effort to do it. So it's all props to them.
Iowa's obviously a great three-point shooting team. You guys held them to 33%. How good has this perimeter defense been for you guys, and what's the key, do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely been good. Like I said earlier, Coach Chen, he's a really good defensive coach, and he just emphasized the importance of keeping guys running guys off the fence, basically making sure that we take away guys 3-point shots, because that's the strength of every team in the Big Ten. Every team in the Big Ten has shooters. It's just about running them off the fence and forcing them to make tough twos.
Okay, Jeremy Werner, you're up. Brandon Simberg on deck.
Hey, Kofi, what would winning a Big Ten tournament title, what does that opportunity mean for you guys?
Means a lot. You know, those guys out there last year, we had the opportunity to come out and compete, and that was stripped away from us. But most of the guys on my team, you know, it's the last time doing it, and just, you know, giving them the opportunity to know what that feels like is really huge. That's why I'm out here working so hard. That's why everybody's out here working so hard. You know, it's just like give those seniors and those guys and Ayo, you know, the opportunity to know what that feels like, since it was stripped away from us last time.
I think you guys now have 6 quad 1 wins over the last 3 weeks or something like that. And you guys have another one possible tomorrow. What have you learned about yourselves heading into the NCAA tournament about this, like so many games and so many days against so many good teams?
Yeah, we learned a lot, you know. Coach Fletcher helped us a lot, you know, with just making sure that we recover well, you know, because this time of the season, it's back-to-back games. It's really good opponents. So it's just about, you know, knowing your body, making sure you get enough rest, making sure you're eating enough food, eating enough protein, you know, so your body can recover faster. So that's definitely been an emphasis going to the postseason.
Thanks, Kofi.
Okay, I'm going to try to get just one question per person. We're going to try to get a second player, so we're going to try to move this a little bit quicker. So Brandon, you're up. Robert Rosenthal on deck. Go ahead.
Kofi, Andre had 2 dunks today. Were you surprised, and what did that kind of bring to the team with that kind
Yeah, I'm never surprised with anything that Andre does, to be honest. He's an excellent player, you know, and everything that he does, I expected from him, because I know what kind of player he is. I've been around him for a while now to know that he's capable of so much things in life, and he's going to be a really good player, you know. So whenever he does something spectacular, I expect it from him, because that's the kind of player he is.
Okay, Robert Rosenthal, you're up. Mark Pearson on deck, and then we'll go Adam Jardy from Columbus. Go ahead.
Kofi, the timeout with 2:45 left, Iowa at the 5, and then the 2 big plays, the rebound, the dunk, and that. Talk me through that.
Repeat that for me, please. Repeat the last part.
Just curious what was said in that timeout and what the focus was coming out of that when Iowa cut it to 5.
You know, I just told guys, you know, when I came back in the game, I told guys, like, I saw a little, like, some guys, we were just too quiet. You know, we didn't have that energy that we normally have. I don't know why that was, but I just told guys, you know, it's winning time. You know, we have to realize when it's winning time, when it's time to go out there and give it our all, because, you know, 2 minutes left, not up 5, you know, anything can happen in that game. So just have to know that's winning time. We got to bring more energy and just play the last 2 minutes the hardest we can. So that was said in the huddle, and guys just came out and they responded.
Okay, we'll go Mark Pearson, Adam, and then Corey, and that'll be it for Kofi. Go ahead, Mark.
Kofi, this is obviously your second game playing in front of fans, but this is it was an Illini crowd today. What can you say to the Illini Nation of how they've showed their support in these 2 games for you guys so far?
It's really special. I think like I said it over and over again, we have the best fan base in the country, probably in the world. And, like, you know, COVID, you know, they haven't been able to see us, and this is a really up year for us. We've been doing really well. You know, for a long time we haven't been like this. So just, you know, seeing those fans coming out there and now showing that love, you know, being happy, you know, cheering us on, it's a great feeling. You know, just them being able to come out and see us play and do what we do best.
Okay, Adam Jardy from Columbus, and then we'll go with Cordy from WQAD. Go ahead, Adam.
Hi, Kofi. You guys have had some really interesting, good battles with Ohio State this season. Kyle Young's not going to play. I know he's a guy you've matched up with occasionally. What do you see in the matchup with Ohio State, and how do you see that impacting things that Kyle won't be playing for them?
I think Ohio State is a really good team. You know, they're a good team with depth, and, like, Kyle Young not being in the game doesn't change anything for us. You know, we're still going to come with the same approach. You know, we're gonna respect them, and we're gonna come out and play and try to play as hard as we can. You know, try to come out and get a W. That's it.
Okay, Corey, Corey Couple, and then we'll that'll be in for Kofi. Go ahead, Corey.
Hey, Kofi, to beat Iowa twice, knowing there's so much hype around their program, your program this year, what does that mean to this program to do it in the semifinals to advance to the championship? And you really locked down defensively on them twice this year.
It means a lot. You know, Iowa is a really great program historically and in the past couple of years. So like just to come out there and compete with them, it's always been a rivalry with us two teams, and just to come out there and compete like that and play our best basketball pretty much, and get the W's, it's really important.
All right, Kofi, thank you very much. We're going to have Andre Curbelo following Kofi here. Thank you, Kofi.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Andre, you guys left for Indy with championship aspirations that obviously started with the Big Ten title. Even though you're not in that win or go home mode yet, how important is it for tomorrow's game to start out the NCAA tournament or March Madness?
It is very important. It's the Big Ten championship game. That's definitely a game that we could potentially see in the long run in the Final Four, Elite Eight. I don't know. We could see them again, and that kind of games, we gotta come out ready to play because, like I said, that's a potential game. That's a Final Four game, championship game. That we just gotta come out ready to go from the get-go, just like we did today. And we just gotta be ready to go mentally. The job's not finished, and just gotta have that mentality for tomorrow.
Exactly.
Okay, Brandon Simberg, you're up, and then Marley on deck.
Andre, in the past few weeks, you've beaten now Michigan, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Iowa, Ohio State. What does that mean to you guys to have knocked off all the other Big Ten teams so far, like in the past few weeks?
It means a lot. Big Ten is proud. I mean, in my opinion, it's the best conference in the country. Right now, maybe throughout the years, I don't know, but as of right now, I think that's the toughest conference in the country. So beating them, all those teams, has been great, and it's a great feeling. Obviously, we know how good we are. We're loaded. We have so many weapons, defensively, offensively, and just proud of my teammates, man. Proud of the coaching staff. We all do a great job on being dialed in the scouting report. They made a few shots. They're the number 2 offensive team in the country. They're gonna make shots, but when we guard like that, like I've been saying, when we guard like that, it's gonna be very tough to beat us. And I think that's why we won today. We made a couple stops, we rebound, and just very proud of my teammates and the coaching staff. We've done a hell of a job so far, but we got one more to go.
Okay, Marley, and then Derek Piper, and then Jeremy on deck or in the hole. Go ahead.
Andre, you've talked about thriving in these big moments. I'm wondering what it was like for you to come out and show off a little bit on this big stage here in the semifinals.
Just great. It was great. I'm once again, I'm not that kind of guy that's gonna praise myself, but just I've come a long way for this moment, and you probably know it more than everybody else, just because we talked about it, just that journey coming from Puerto Rico. It feels great. It feels great to be in this kind of moments and being able to help the team win. I was just out there hooping, having fun, and just proud of what I've done so far. And once again, I'm not that kind of guy, but sometimes I got to do it. And obviously without my teammates, the trust that the coaching staff have on me, I will not be able to do it. And I was just out there being myself and just, really happy and just really proud. But once again, job's not finished. We got one more to go.
Thank you.
Okay, Derek Piper, Jeremy Werner, Mark Pearson, in that order.
Hey, Andre, for Kofi to dominate in this kind of a game against the Big Ten Player of the Year, what did you see from him, and what does that do for you as a guard when he has that going inside like that?
I saw it since the game started. I knew he was going to dominate, and I tried to find him as much I think I did, because he was just on fire today. He was on go mode, and we executed our game plan. We had to make Luka Garza tired. A lot of credit to him, hell of a player. But that was our game plan. We executed it. Kofi did hell of a job on him. Once again, Big Ten Player of the Year. He's gonna make shots, gonna do his thing. But overall, I think he did a hell of a job, and that just makes my job even easier. All I have to do is just give it to him, and he's just gonna go to work. And that's what I did today. So really proud of him and what he's done so far. He's also come a long way since the season started. But just really proud of him. He did a really, really good job today.
Thanks, Andre.
Okay, Jeremy, you're up. Mark Pearson on deck. Scott Ritchie in the hole.
Hey, Andre, over these last couple of weeks, you guys have had high pressure packed games. What have you learned from those in front of this crowd and in front of this atmosphere that you're going to experience next week? What have you learned from that?
Just that it's a mental game. Like right now, it's a mental game. It's not about how talent and all that. Plays a big part of it, but just having these games back to back, and especially big time games. Once again, Big Ten probably best, if not, it's up there, best conference in the country right now. So mentally, it's all mental right now. We gotta go back to the hotel, eat, relax, get off our feet, recover, watch a little film, personnel, and get ready for tomorrow, because we gotta do it again tomorrow. It's not like we can play in 2 or 3 days. So definitely a big mental challenge. But we've done it for, like you said, 2 weeks or whatever it is. So I don't see why we can't do it tomorrow.
Thanks.
Okay, Mark Pearson, Scott Ritchie, go ahead.
Andre, with about 3 minutes left, you picked Bohannon's pocket again, and then it led to an IO dunk and then a timeout. And from there, you kind of took control. And that kind of goes back to that Adam Miller diving on the floor earlier in the year. I mean, how much have you guys really taken that, sense of mentality to get on the floor after every loose ball and make things happen like that in clutch opportunities?
That's what Illinois is all about, man. Everyday guys just got to do it every day. Dive on the floor. That's what makes Illinois special, man. The little things is what makes Illinois special. And a lot of credit to the coaches, especially Underwood. He's always on our ass about that. And what better moment to do it now? Like it's that time of the year. It's March. There's no tomorrow. There's none of that. So it's the little things, and like I said, that's what makes Illinois basketball special. And having Trent Frazier in our team, Io, all those guys, we learn from them. But they're our vets. And I told Trent we was coming down the tunnel to the locker room, and he was like, "Yo, Belo, like that's a big time play." And I'm like, "Man, that's just learning from you, because he does that all the time." And like once again, that's just what Illinois basketball is all about: little things and 50-50 balls, making stops at the end of the game, and that's just great because it gives us momentum. The rest of the game, and I think that's why we won the game, man. Like just big time stops at the end, gang rebound, and that's what Coach Underwood that's all he preaches about. Little things, the little things, what makes Illinois basketball special.
Okay, we're going
Thanks,
to go
Andre.
a little bit out of order. We'll go Scott Ritchie, and then I'll go down to Goodell Padilla, and then we'll try to get as many as we can here. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, Andre, was there any difference for you today, after yesterday, where you had a couple of those early fouls and maybe just didn't get off to a good start?
Yeah, I think yesterday, just one of those games, I guess. First game of the tournament. I guess it was just one of those days, and knowing that I did what I did, I learned from it. I just got to learn from it, and that's the most important part, I think, as a freshman. Even though probably not freshman anymore, but I'm still a freshman. I'm gonna make mistakes, and that's something I've been doing all year, I think. And just got to learn from it, and that's what I did today. Just came in mentally prepared. Had Tyler Underwood on my ass too. Like he does that all the time. And having him on the team is just special as well. Just I learned from him a lot. He's always talking to me, trying to make sure I'm good. But just the game before was just one of those games, and I just had to bounce back, and I think I did. But all credit to my teammates; they did a hell of a job. They were making every time I gave them the ball, Kofi he was making plays, Iowa was making plays. So it was just a team effort.
Hi, everyone. Guido Padilla. I will ask my questions in Spanish. So hi to everyone. André Curbelo, profesor G. Padilla por aquí. Bien sencillo lo que te quiero preguntar. A través de toda la temporada has tenido un año excelente. Sin embargo, te hemos visto después de la lesión de Ayo tener mucho más control del balón, los tenores bien abajo y haciendo la jugada extra, lo que llamamos las intangibles del juego. ¿A qué le achacas el nivel de confianza que estás teniendo y el impacto que estás teniendo tan grande en un equipo tan loaded como tú bien mencionas?
Crédito a mis compañeros de equipo, crédito al coaching staff. Ellos confían en mí. Cuando Ayo se lastimó, ellos me lo dijeron que tenían que step up y eso fue lo que hice. Yo siempre soy un jugador que voy a jugar para el equipo, voy a hacer lo que sea para ganar. Y eso era lo que tenía que hacer y salí y he hecho el trabajo en los últimos juegos y mano, nos queda uno más, job's not finished, nos queda uno más y mañana hay que hacerlo otra vez.
Gracias. Can I have another question quick?
Real quick question.
Real
The
quick.
bus is waiting. Go ahead.
¿Qué ves diferente en el equipo ahora mismo que está básicamente en la final del Big Ten? ¿Qué ves diferente en el equipo que no veías antes? Camino hacia la NCAA, que es tan importante porque sabemos que es un juego y te eliminas.
Estamos bien conectados, sabemos lo que estamos jugando para un campeonato y al nosotros saber eso, conectamos y eso es lo que hemos estado haciendo últimamente. Bien conectados y salir a trabajar duro, hacer el trabajo, hacer lo que cada uno tiene que hacer. Y mañana hay que hacer lo mismo, salir a defender. La defensa es lo que nos va a ganar el juego. Y como te he estado diciendo, cuando nosotros venimos al día de la CIE, it's going to be tough to beat us.
Thank you. Very proud of you.
All right. Thank you. Andre.
Thank you, guys. Well, first of all, I'm really proud of our guys, and secondly, I'm really glad that I don't have to play Luka Garza again. At least the way it's set up right now, we don't. But Iowa deserves a ton of credit. They scare you to death as a coach. They run great offense. They've got so many weapons that can make shots. I thought we gave them a couple in the early stages of the first half, especially Wieskamp. Bohannon hit a couple tough ones. He's just a tough little sucker that makes hard shots. And then I thought the job Adam Miller did on CJ Frederick was tremendous. And I thought Kofi was outstanding. I thought Kofi's performance in the first half was just dominant. Not just because he scored 18, but the job he did defensively. He stayed out of foul trouble in that half and was very good. And then I think we had 26 points under 7 seconds in the first half where we were able to get out and run. That helped us establish the lead. But I love seeing all of our points in the paint, in a game that, forced them to probably play more zone than they have been playing anyway. But again, it was, Curbelo was not in foul trouble. Excuse me. Curbelo was outstanding, both ends of the court again, and obviously made a huge steal, picking Bohannon's ball. So again, beat a great team. Really excited, and we've got a great opportunity tomorrow against a team that's obviously playing great in Ohio State.
Okay, we'll start off with Robert Rosenthal, Mark Pearson on deck, and then Scott Ritchie in the hole. Go ahead, Robert.
Coach, I asked Kofi about the timeout with 2:45 left, and Iowa had cut it to 5. Kofi said the message timeout was that it's winning time. So can you talk me through that timeout and then what you saw from your team after that?
Yeah, I mean, when you play Iowa so much, you know that they're going to make a run, and that's what they do. And for us, it's been about our defense and the opportunity to get one shot. And then you know, a lot of times you've got to execute and match them at the other end offensively. But this is the attitude that our guys have. This is the connectivity our guys have. You know, it was relaxed in the timeout. It was a stern look, you know, like, hey, we got to get a stop. And, you know, Curbelo makes one. Trent blocks a shot. We limit them to one shot. And then we came down and got opportunities and you know, we're able to put the game away. But that's the belief this team has.
Okay, we'll go Mark Pearson and Scott Ritchie.
Brad, earlier in the year, we talked about Adam Miller not getting on the floor, Io getting after him. Today, Andre picks the pocket of Bohannon with about 3 minutes left, hands it to Io throws it down. How key was that play, and what does that solidify? Because he says the coaching staff preaches the little things throughout the entire game.
Winning plays. It's, you know, it's the difference of diving on the floor, reaching down and picking it up. And if we pick it up, you know, we don't get the dunk. We don't get we don't finish the play the right way. And those are all the detail things and the little things that don't show up in a stat sheet that everybody wants to read points and this and that. That's just a play that wins games, and it's our culture. And and I'm glad to see Bello listen.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, Scott Ritchie, you're up. Shannon Ryan on deck.
You know, Brad, you mentioned last night that, you know, getting back to the semifinals is maybe a place where Illinois should be as a program. So where does, you know, making that tournament championship game kind of fit in the broader goals you still have, you know, for this season?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think there's a sense of I don't want to say urgency, but last year was taken away from us, and we were playing great at the end of the season. And I think that the attitude and the focus that our guys have, even from that, even though we're a different team, you know, it's all positive. This is a great league. You know, I mean, we just beat, what are they, 4th or 5th in the country? You know, and you know, it's hard to get back and get into a final. And you know, I'm proud of our guys for doing that, and it means a lot for our program.
Okay, Shannon Ryan, Jeremy Werner, Brad Sturdy in the hole.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it seems like as well, you guys are just really connecting almost at a higher level each game, and you're getting contributions from every guy kind of at a higher level. Is there an art as a coach to getting a team to peak at this time of year, and how do you kind of build toward this, and how have these guys done that?
You know, Shannon, I don't know if there's a simple answer to that. I think you work at it throughout the course of the season, and it's like, you know, fine tuning a Ferrari. You know, it just takes a little bit here and there. It's not just one thing, and it's chemistry, it's roles, it's personalities, it's finding the right offense and the right defense that fits, and who's successful in those roles. And so it's not just one thing, but we are becoming more connected and you know, playing for a purpose that's bigger than themselves individually, you know, and it's about the team. And that's, you know, it's all we preach and we talk about in the locker room.
Okay, Jeremy Werner and then Brad Sturdy on deck. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad, you pulled aside Luka Garza after that game. I'm just wondering, what was your message to him, and what was it like seeing his career up close?
Yeah, 4 years. You know, I have so much admiration for guys who aren't ballyhooed and 5 stars and this and that. And I watched him play in AAU, and you know, and all of a sudden now he's the National Player of the Year and probably will be for a second time. And I knew he was going to be special in the first game his freshman year. I think he had 19 or 20 against us. And I have so much respect for him, how hard he works. He's a great, great competitor. And like I said, I told him that, and wish him nothing but the best in his future endeavors. But he is one heck of a college basketball player.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, we got Brad Sturdy and then Derek Piper.
Coach, in the second half, Kofi only gets 8 minutes, but he's plus 13 on the plus minus. Against the zone, it seemed like you struggled a little bit when he wasn't in there. How do you get them going against the zone when Kofi's not in the game?
Yeah, and again, we were just a little bit out of sync. I don't think it had as much to do with them as us. And again, I thought we turned down some shots. We missed some easy opportunities. But again, I liked the shots we were getting, and it just wasn't that the ball went in tonight. But you have those nights. But you know, when we played those guys zone, when they played a zone in the first game, the first meeting, our offensive efficiency rating was through the roof. So again, maybe just one of those nights, but again, give them some credit. They they did a good job mixing it up.
Hey, Coach, for Kofi to go from last year in Iowa City, his first matchup against Luka, to be a real learning lesson all the way to this, how have you seen him progress through just this battle with Luka, and what's been the biggest difference from then till now?
Yeah, I think he's gotten a taste of experience. I think he's a unbelievable learner. I think he's taken things from Luka that he learned in those early games, and everybody else he plays. I mean, there's no night off in this league with bigs. They all do something exceptionally well, but that was as dominant a first half as maybe anybody could have, and to do it against him, was I'm sure extra meaningful to him. But again, he's a smarter player. He's more intelligent, and he's much more experienced now.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, Nico, and then Marley, Gavin, and then we'll go to Joey. Go ahead, Nico.
Brad, you kind of touched on it earlier, but you guys haven't quite hit that win or go home part yet, but you guys got to Indy with championship aspirations. How important is it for you guys tomorrow to close out the Big Ten tournament with a championship?
Well, I mean, that's what we try to do, is win. It's not the end of our season, but it's a mentality that we're striving for success every time we go out. So is our opponent. Our opponent's darn good, and I think that it's a challenge every single night in this league, and it's very, very hard to win. It's why we try to celebrate them, and tomorrow's no different. We've got our hands full against a great team and a well-coached team.
Okay, and then we'll go Marley, and then Gavin.
Coach, there was a moment in the second half when Iowa was shooting a free throw and your guys were kind of in a little embrace and Iowa's guys were kind of spread out. I mean, I know you talked about that little embrace that they have, in those moments when you're shooting free throws, but I think that was, from where I saw it, just a moment of how your team culture has been reflected on the court. How much does that culture change the outlook of a game?
Great observation. I don't know if it affects the other team, but it sure does us. And again, there's a positive vibe about being able to lean on somebody and touch somebody. Know you've got a guy to your right and a guy to your left, and that's what we talk about, and that's what that moment is about. And as corny as some may think it looks, it's pretty meaningful in our locker room.
Okay, thanks, Marley. Gavin, and then we'll go to Joey.
Brad, DeMonte, Io, and Andre combined for 23 rebounds today. we've been seeing this all season, but that's pretty nuts. They all say it comes back to you and what you've instilled. What do you have to say about that?
It wins. It wins. There's more to the game. Everybody's got to be a champion or a star in their role, and it's maximizing individual ability. And DeMonte is a terrific rebounder. So is Curbelo from the guard spot, and you go on down the list. Jake and his activity kept balls alive in the first half, and it's just a constant theme in terms of our effort and what we do, and that's something we continue.
And then Andre said that Tyler Underwood, your son, obviously, has been a big help to him this season, giving him pointers, being on him, making sure he's staying sharp mentally and composed. Have you seen that?
Yeah, Tyler does a great job. Tyler's got a coach's mind for a young guy. He's going to be a terrific coach someday, probably to his mother's chagrin. But I think the one thing that he understands our system. He's been around it. He's still in practice every day, practicing. So he's been through it. He knows what I'm trying to get across. And sometimes when I'm not happy, or sometimes when I'm getting on somebody else, and Dre has really embraced that. And it's nice to have somebody help lead you through that, and they've got a special bond.
Okay, Joey Wagner and then Matt Stevens. Go ahead, Joey.
Brad, there was a three-pointer, I think, that Adam hit that slowed an Iowa run. Andre had several plays that kind of slowed runs from Iowa or swung some momentum. You mentioned those guys aren't freshmen anymore, but when did that happen? Like, is there something in your mind that you remember thinking or can look back on and kind of recognize that they made that jump?
Not really, Joey. I think everybody does it at their own pace. And I think what helped galvanize us a little bit was Io's injury. We saw those guys step into different roles, and we saw a lot of the actions we've been running for Io that we ran for Ace, that we ran for Bello, and those guys excel at them. They're talented players. I'm so giddy over the job Ace did on CJ Frederick. That dude can run now, and the job he did was tremendous. That was something he couldn't do in the Baylor game the first time. So you grow up and you learn and you have experience, and now it's not something new. You know how to handle it, and they do it at different pace at different phases. But man, their maturation has been fun to watch.
Thanks, man.
Okay, we'll go Matt Stevens, and then Brockway has his hand up. So go ahead, Matt.
Brad, I'm just curious what goes through Andre Carbelo's process. Baseball people would call it his makeup, that allows him to have a game like he did Friday night, sleep on it, and then turn around and maybe flush it as quickly as he did, because you've seen it before with young players. That one game can become two can become three, and then you've got a problem.
Not with him. He's an alpha. He's different. He's not wired like that. He's wired to be great all the time, and understands that stuff happens in the course of the game where you may not be your best, but next game, and he's just got that. He's just wired that way, and it's really positive to see.
Can that be coached, or is that just in a player when he starts playing?
No, I think with young guys, you try to coach it a little bit, just to make sure that you're positive, that they shake it off. I think that's again where Tyler is really good, and guys don't get their head down, or guys feel like they let the team down, and but when it comes to throwing the ball up when the lights come on, he's pretty special that way.
Okay, we'll wrap up here with Brockway. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Io had 9 assists today. I know that obviously he's known nationally as a big shot maker, scored so far. How much of that aspect of that game is important to your team, and how much of that is even maybe a tad underrated?
Well, everybody talks about his finishes. I think he led the league in assists, and I'm pretty sure he did. And that's what great players do. Good players make themselves better. Great players make their teammates better. And that's what Io does, and whatever it takes. And you know, it's just it's the game's simple for him. He sees it, he understands it, and he's got a passion for winning that allows him to make the right play.